Welcome to Midnight Murmurs. Before watching, don't forget to like and subscribe this channel.
It started 4 weeks ago. It was always the same. My phone would vibrate with a security alert, and just as the vibration faded, a sound would follow. Not a harsh, sudden pound, but a precise, gentle, asterisk, tap, tap, tap. On the thick oak of my front door, it was the sound of a polite visitor, patient, just waiting for an answer. But the time was always 3:33 in the morning, a time when absolutely no one should be standing on my porch. The first week, I was sure it was just some kids, vandals maybe. I was terrified, but also angry. I grabbed the baseball bat I keep by the closet and pulled up the live CCTV feed on my monitor. What I saw made me freeze. I lowered the bat. My hand suddenly slicked with sweat. It was me. My face, my clothes, even the old gray sweatshirt I always wear to bed. The figure standing outside was identical to me in every single detail, right down to the faint scar above my left eyebrow. He stood perfectly still, centered right in the frame, his hand resting where he had just knocked. He wasn't looking at the door, though. He was looking directly at the camera, directly at the feed, directly at me. His expression was the worst part. It wasn't menacing or angry. It wasn't even confused. It was just empty, utterly devoid of any emotion. Blank, pale, just waiting, like a statue holding a pose. I didn't open the door. I couldn't even move. I just stood there, trapped between the door and the screen, until the clock finally ticked over to 3:34. And then, just like that, he was gone. No footsteps retreating down the path, no shadow running across the lawn. He just vanished. I tried everything I could think of to break the pattern. I stayed up all night, wide awake, with every light in the house on and music blaring. One night I even unplugged the camera, thinking maybe the whole digital system was corrupted somehow. But at exactly 3:33, the knock came, solid and real, echoing through my empty house. When I frantically plugged the camera back in, there he was standing in the exact same spot, patiently waiting. After 2 weeks of this, the pure terror started to morph into something else, a chilling obsession. I began studying the footage for hours. I zoomed in on his face. His eyes never blinked. The hand resting on the door didn't move a single inch until the very minute the ritual ended. I started talking to him through the screen. "What do you want?" I'd whisper, my breath fogging up the glass. The reflection of my own face on the monitor would overlap with his, making it impossible to tell where I ended and the nightmare began. A strange thought started to form in my mind. What if he wasn't trying to get in? What if he was trying to get out? Maybe the figure on my porch was a version of me that had been locked outside of time, locked outside of reality, stuck in an endless 3:33 purgatory. But last night, the routine changed. I was waiting by the monitor, bracing myself for the usual light tap. The sound that came was different. It wasn't a gentle knock this time. It was a rapid, insistent scratching, a desperate, wet sound, like fingernails dragging across wood, and he wasn't standing still anymore. He was leaning in close, his blank face pressed right against the peephole, right against the lens of the security camera. He wasn't staring at the camera anymore. He was staring at the space behind the camera. He was staring at me. And for the first time, he smiled. It was a wide, slow, inhuman smile that pulled his features taut and exposed to much gum. It was the smile of someone who had finally figured out the mechanism of the trap. Then he raised his hand again, not to knock, but to wave. A small, familiar goodbye. I bolted from the room and locked myself in the basement, shaking, listening to that relentless, scratching tapping until the first light of dawn finally broke the spell. Now it is almost 3:33 again. I'm huddled down here, my phone's camera pointed up, recording this message. I think I know what's coming. I finally understand the exchange. He wasn't waiting for me to open the door. He was waiting for me to leave my post. Because if he is outside, I must be inside. But if I am outside ... then who is recording this right now? Wait! The monitor just alerted. It's early. The screen is flickering. There's a figure in the hallway. He's looking around my living room. He's picking up the phone I left on the counter. He's looking directly into the lens. He looks exactly like me. And he's smiling that impossible smile. I can hear the gentle tap-tap-tap coming from the door above me, but this time, the tap-in isn't coming from outside.